The history of Myanmar from ancient kingdoms to modern statehood. Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, has a rich history that spans millennia. Located in Southeast Asia and bordered by India, China, Thailand, Laos, and Bangladesh, Myanmar's history has been shaped by its strategic location and diverse ethnic groups. From the early few city-states to British colonial rule and recent political transformations, Myanmar's history is a story of resilience, cultural depth, and complex political challenges. Early civilization and the few city-states 200 BC to 1050 CE. The earliest known civilization in Myanmar developed around the few city-states. From as early as the 2nd century BC, the few people established urban centers along the Irrawaddy River, engaging in agriculture, trade, and complex social organization. The few were heavily influenced by Indian culture, introducing Theravada Buddhism, which remains dominant in Myanmar today. The city-states, including Thano, Hanlin, and Sri Ksetra, were known for their extensive irrigation systems, religious monuments, and written language. They also maintained trade routes with China and India. However, the Pu's influence began to wane in the 9th century when they faced incursions by the Nanzhao Kingdom of China, which weakened their territories and made way for new political powers in the region. The Pagan Kingdom 849–1287. The Pagan Kingdom was founded in 849 by King Enrada, considered the first unifier of the region. Under his rule, Pagan became a powerful and culturally significant kingdom, establishing Theravada Buddhism as the official religion. Enrada is credited with building many of Pagan's temples and pagodas, which symbolize the prosperity and devotion of the kingdom. The Pagan period saw significant developments in architecture, literature, and art. The city of Pagan, with its thousands of temples and pagodas, became one of the world's most impressive archaeological sites and a center of Buddhist learning. The kingdom also extended its influence into parts of modern Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia. Despite its prosperity, Pagan eventually faced challenges, including overextension, internal strife, and increasing threats from the Mongols and Kublai Khan. In 1287, Mongol forces invaded, leading to Pagan's downfall and a period of fragmentation. The era of small kingdoms 1287–1531. After Pagan's fall, Myanmar fractured into smaller kingdoms and principalities. The Ava Kingdom, the Hanthawaddy Kingdom, and the Shan states emerged as regional powers. These kingdoms were often at odds, resulting in frequent conflicts and shifting alliances. During this era, the Hanthawaddy Kingdom became particularly prominent under the Mon people in Lower Myanmar. Known for their strong trade connections with Southeast Asia and their promotion of Theravada Buddhism, the Mon left a lasting cultural impact on Myanmar, particularly in art, language, and religious practices. In the 16th century, the Taungoo Dynasty rose to prominence under the leadership of King Taungoo and his successor, King Bainam, who succeeded in unifying much of Myanmar and establishing one of the largest empires in Southeast Asia at the time. The Taungoo Dynasty 1531–1752. The Taungoo Dynasty marked a second unification of Myanmar and is considered one of the most powerful and prosperous periods in its history. King Taungoo initially unified Lower Myanmar before expanding northward, while his successor, King Bainam 1551–1581, extended the empire's influence into Thailand, Laos, and even parts of modern-day India. Bainong's rule is remembered for its centralization of power, administrative reforms, and military conquests. He reinforced Buddhism as the state religion, constructed impressive religious structures, and promoted trade and diplomatic relations with nearby kingdoms. The Taungoo Empire, however, was difficult to maintain due to its vast size and ethnic diversity, leading to its gradual decline after Bainong's death. In the early 18th century, the dynasty faced internal revolts and challenges from neighboring regions, leading to the rise of the Konbaung Dynasty. The Konbaung Dynasty and British colonization 175–1948. The Konbaung Dynasty was the last Burmese monarchy, established by King Alongbai in 1752. He reunited the country after the fall of the Taungoo Dynasty, initiating a period of centralization and territorial expansion. Alongpai's descendants, including King Shinvishan and King Badopaya, continued to expand Myanmar's borders, leading to conflict with neighboring powers, particularly Siam Thailand and British India. In the 19th century, the British Empire's interest in Myanmar increased, largely due to strategic concerns and the desire to protect their interests in India. A series of confrontations, known as the Anglo-Burmese Wars, ultimately led to British colonization. The First Anglo-Burmese War 1824–1826 resulted in the loss of Myanmar's western territories. In the Second Anglo-Burmese War 1852, the British annexed Lower Myanmar, including Rangoon now Yangon. The Third Anglo-Burmese War in 1885 marked the final conquest of Myanmar by the British. The monarchy was dissolved, and King Thibaw was exiled to India. Myanmar was incorporated into British India, leading to social and economic upheaval as traditional systems of governance and land ownership were dismantled. British rule intensified ethnic tensions as they favored certain groups over others, contributing to long-standing divisions. The Road to Independence 1937–1948. In 1937, Myanmar was separated from British India and granted a limited form of self-governance. During World War II, Myanmar became a significant battleground between British and Japanese forces. Many Burmese nationalists initially sided with Japan, hoping that Japanese victory would lead to independence. The Burma Independence Army BIA, led by Aung San, collaborated with Japan, although Aung San later switched allegiances, disillusioned by Japanese occupation policies. After the war, Aung San played a critical role in negotiating Myanmar's independence from Britain. Tragically, he and several members of his cabinet were assassinated in 1947. However, his efforts led to Myanmar gaining full independence on January 4, 1948, as a democratic republic. Post-independence period and the military regime 1948–1911. After gaining independence, Myanmar faced numerous challenges, including ethnic conflicts and economic instability. The Communist Party of Burma and various ethnic insurgent groups fought against the government, leading to decades of civil strife. In 1962, General Ne Win led a coup that ended Myanmar's democratic governance, establishing a military-led one-party state. Ne Win's government implemented socialist policies, nationalizing major industries and isolating the country from the international community. The Burmese way to socialism, as it was known, led to economic decline and widespread poverty. In 1988, massive pro-democracy protests erupted across the country, demanding political reform. The military responded with violent crackdowns, resulting in thousands of casualties. These events led to the establishment of the State Law and Order Restoration Council (SLORC), which later renamed itself the State Peace and Development Council (SPDC), continuing authoritarian rule. The path to democracy and recent developments 2011-present. In 2011, the military government dissolved itself and initiated a period of political reform, including the release of political prisoners and the relaxation of media censorship. Aung San Suu Kyi, the daughter of Aung San and a leading democracy activist, became a central figure in this new phase of Myanmar's history. Suu Kyi's party, the National League for Democracy (NLD), won landslide victories in the 2015 elections, marking the first steps toward a democratic government. However, challenges continued, particularly regarding ethnic tensions and human rights abuses. The treatment of the Rohingya minority in Rakhine State led to international condemnation and accusations of genocide. Over 1 million Rohingya fled to Bangladesh, creating a major humanitarian crisis. In 2021, Myanmar's political landscape took a drastic turn when the military staged another coup, arresting Aung San Suu Kyi and other leaders. The coup led to nationwide protests and an armed resistance movement. The military responded with violent crackdowns, intensifying the country's internal conflict and leading to widespread displacement. Conclusion. Myanmar's journey from ancient city-states and powerful kingdoms to colonization, independence, and military rule reflects a complex and multifaceted history. The nation's resilience amid challenges, be they foreign invasions, colonial rule, or internal strife, has shaped Myanmar's unique cultural identity. Today, Myanmar stands at a crossroads, with its people striving for peace, democracy, and respect for all ethnic groups within its borders. The future remains uncertain, but Myanmar's rich history continues to inspire hope and perseverance among its people.